on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So I've been looking for some doors, right? I've been going to Home Depot. You can buy a solid wood, pine door, but it's close to 400 bucks for one door. But those are the doors that are going to last. They're going to take a beating. When people slam them, they're not going to explode like those other doors that they have at Home Depot. They're in the 3-bedroom unit right now, and several of them I had to glue back together because the veneers were coming off, and they just don't last. They don't take abuse. So I'm trying not to put trash in this place if I can help it. But yeah, I gotta do things on the cheap as much as possible. So this is one of the doors that I really want to change. You can see somebody glued something, a piece of wood on the top just to make it taller. I don't know. This door's got like 15,000 coats of paint on it. Not too worried about the door trim, but the door I would like to change. The hinges have been painted over 15 million times, yeah. So I've been looking for some doors. I was just working for a customer that, I was like, I almost bought a couple of doors a few times, but I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna wait and see if I can come across something at work for free. And that's exactly what happened. I just got a bunch of doors that probably cost a lot of money for free. So I'm working for this lady, and she just bought a brand new house. It's brand new. The contractor that did it, he went above and beyond trying to make this house look like an old colonial. All the door hardware, window hardware. You see, this is the old door hinges, and instead of knobs, it's the lever thingies. Yeah. I mean, he really went all out. Even the windows, you can tell, the glass has imperfections in it. It's like the old sand glass or whatever. But she bought the place, and she says there's too much wood. I don't like all this wood. And she hates the old colonial stuff, which I'm like, that's what people would die for. That's what people want these days. But regardless, she said she was throwing these doors out. Yeah. So I got 5 of these doors. 4 of them are 30 by 80, and one of them is a little bit smaller. Custom made, I'm sure. Nice and thin, just like the old doors. So, I don't know if I'm gonna keep them wood or sand them down, fill the holes, paint it, and put modern hardware on there. But nonetheless, it's a solid wood door. Not Home Depot veneered cardboard and sawdust packed with hot glue gun in the middle. Trash. It's not that. So I'm gonna see. I've got a old set of hinges here. Don't have a knob, but maybe we can make one of these old knobs work. I don't think the old hinges will work. But I'm gonna start with this bedroom door and see if we can get rid of that and put that right there. And if it works, then I'll probably do the office door and the bathroom door, because they're all roughly the same size. The front door, this thing's mega thick, and it's solid wood. So for now, I'm just gonna leave that. And the other entrance door is brand new, and it's heavy. This one feels like it's actually solid wood. It's extremely heavy. But yeah, let's see if we can get that in there. Well, I figure if we're gonna do it, we might as well try to scrape off the 25 layers of paint, because if we can get down to wood, then I can call this de-leaded, you know what I mean? So I don't know if it's gonna be easier to just, oh God, scrape this down, or what? I don't know. Let's see how this goes. Oh my God. You know, I was trying to figure out whether it was worth ripping this out, going to Home Depot, buying pine, ripping it down, setting up the saws, you know, all of that, putting it in. I would have spent money and I still would have had quite a bit of time versus just scraping the paint off. And this is older pine. It's not like pine from Home Depot that you can just literally push a dent into. This stuff's pretty hard, so I would say this is better for Sir Tenants. Not sure. But yeah, that was quite a nightmare. I got bored very, very quickly, so I just made him do it, right? He didn't do a very good job, so I'm gonna have to go back over it with sandpaper and finish it up. But, you know, you can't find good help these days. First coat of Bondo in the hinge areas. Yeah, Duke, you missed a spot here, buddy. So I went to town for quite a while with some sandpaper. And I'm not getting any more off. I tried to resharpen the scraper and started going over some of these pieces again, but I'm just ripping wood off. It's not taking this off. Sandpaper won't take it off. So I'm gonna call this de-leaded. Yeah. I think this is what they're worried about anyway. If you like ding the trim in any way, it just starts to lift and peel. Like, yeah, look at this. This will just flake off. I can just sit here and pick it and it will flake right off because there's no adhesion. There's just, it's junk. Because there's too many layers of paint. Over paint, over paint, over paint. And you need a good base. So, yeah, if a hand scraper and a bunch of sanding won't take it off, I would say it's not coming off. So I forgot how much this oil-based paint, it stinks. It's pretty fumey, so good thing it's nice out today. But the good thing about it is it dries very, very quickly. So I was able to get another coat of Bondo on some of the really big stuff, and then I put some wood filler on some of the smaller things just a minute ago. Again, doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm just trying to, you know, just the most obvious stuff. And then I caulked in these cracks here. I did this giant one here because I never noticed it before. There was like horsehair plaster dust coming through the crack right here on both sides. So I caulked that in with the best caulking known to man, which I know a lot of painters are probably gonna, you know, light me up in the comments for this because I get it all the time. Trust me, I know. Painters, you know, they like that that DAP stuff. It's like $1 a tube. It washes away with water. It's fast. It's super fast, super easy to use. You know what I mean? You jam it in the crack, you wipe it with your finger real quick, and you're done. You let it dry and you paint over it. But the problem is, it shrinks, it dries hard as a rock, and it cracks. So, if you're doing it in your own house, if you're doing it on a job just to get the job done and get the hell out of there and get paid, that's one thing. But if you're doing it in your own house and you want it to last, I prefer this stuff. It's $10 a tube versus $1 a tube. Quad Max in white. I know it's made for outdoors. Tougher than the elements. This stuff is insanely strong. Like you glue something to a drywall, and the drywall will break before this stuff does. This is great for caulking showers, toilets, vanities, that kind of stuff, because it's made for outdoors. It doesn't yellow, it stays white, it stays supple, you know, squishy. It's insanely strong, but it's a pain in the ass to use because it's oil-based, so it does not wash away with water. And a lot of people don't know how to use it. So there's a trick. Put in your bead, you know, as carefully as you can. Then you take a cup, put some water in it. Water first, and then Dawn dish soap. Squeeze a bunch of that in there, mix it with your finger or a fork or something, and this is the secret sauce. Once you put your bead wherever you want it, dip your finger in this, and then tool it out, because the dish soap will not allow this stuff to stick to your finger. So you can tool it, smooth it out, get it nice. If it blows out on you, you can take a dry finger and wipe it away, because it will stick to your dry finger. And yeah, you can let it dry. I've actually waited a half an hour and painted right over it before in a jam. I don't recommend it. It takes 12 hours to cure, but again, this stuff is invincible and it will never open up. And this gap was like 3/8 right here, maybe a little bit less, and I filled it in. You can't even tell. All right, I'm gonna show you exactly why I use this stuff indoors, everywhere. It just, you know, again, if it's at work and we're just trying to slam a job out and get the hell out of there, and they didn't pay for the best, then we'll just use cheap painter's caulk and get the hell out of there. But you know, if they paid the good price and they want it done nice, I tend to use Quad Max. You see this? Yeah, you see all that cracking? It's because they used silicone. Yes, they used silicone. Because, yeah, I just started scraping in the corners because this window looked exactly like that window. And it was just peeling out. And you can rub your finger over the stuff and it will just ball up and come right off the surface. So if you put Quad Max in here and paint it, you'll never have to mess with it again. But when you want to take the window out, you'll be cussing me. I remember my dad wanted me to caulk his toilet to the floor, and I was like, this is the stuff. You know, it's oil-based, it's strong, it's white, it doesn't yellow. Let's do this, you know. Caulked his toilet to the floor, came out really nice. But then he went to remodel his bathroom later on. He was calling me, cussing me out. He's like, what in the hell? I can't get the toilet up, this stuff is insane. I'm like, yeah, I told you. It's strong. So if you're low on funds, and you got an old house like me, and you're trying to do the best you can, Quad Max is going to be your best friend. I'm telling you that. Because, I mean, check this out. So first off, that's like a 1/4 inch gap. Quad Max will take care of that in one shot. Other caulkings will shrink, and you'll have to do it again. And you see this 3/4 quarter round, that's 3/4 of an inch, correct? So over here, there wasn't one, just 1.5 inch piece. So I wasn't gonna go to Home Depot and grab an 8-foot length for 1.5 inches, because there's gonna be a curtain rod here anyway, and no one's ever gonna see that. So I just filled it up with Quad Max, formed it with my finger, and Bob's your auntie. So, but I mean, if you can Quad Max in the window trim to the wall and the window to the window trim, I actually noticed at the bottom here that I could see into the wall a little bit, just a little. So you get all that sealed up. That should at least help with, you know, drafts, as long as the windows have been replaced somewhat, you know, in that century, whenever. And what's crazy is they used to use air as insulation. And no, that's not a joke. They literally used to use air. They would create an air pocket in the wall. And I've seen it a lot more like in the city. Like in Boston, in the really old brownstone houses. So, and some of them are not brick, right? Some of them are, it's sided. So they have, you have your sheathing, right? Then you have your siding, and then you have your horsehair plaster on the inside. But what they would do also is they would tack on a couple of battens from the outside first before they put the sheathing on. And they would put another layer of horsehair plaster towards the outside, right before the sheathing. creating an air pocket. I mean, I guess if you have the sheathing there and the siding, that creates the air pocket as well, but they sealed it up even more with a second layer of horsehair plaster, creating an air pocket, and that was the insulation back in the day. So, and until you can afford to, rip it all down and insulate, if you're on a budget, you just bought an old house, I'm telling you, QuadMax will be your new best friend if you can learn how to use it. Dude, that's all I have to say. Look at that. It looks all rejuvenated. I mean, you can tell just by walking up close to the trim, it doesn't look like anymore that it has 5 billion coats of paint on it, because it doesn't. And the door looks fresh. You can see the hardware. You can see the old school. Look at the old school. Yeah. Pretty sweet. So I don't know if you guys have been following along with the whole, like, everybody has to go green and put heat pumps in their house thing that's coming collapsing down in front of their face. Ford and Chevy had said, yeah, we're done. We're not investing any more into the electric vehicle thing because it's just not sustainable. Like, it doesn't make financial sense to keep doing that. I've been worried about it for a while because, the heating system that's in this apartment is from the 1950s. And that heating system is my kitchen stove. I've never experienced something like this before, ever in my life. That's my heater. And this is not the stove that was here. There was another one here, but it was yellow, covered in crack dust, methamphetamine, and cigarettes. There was no way I was getting it clean, so I found this on Facebook Marketplace for $100. How much did your heating system cost? 10 grand? 20 grand? This was $100, dude. Yeah, it has to be piped into a chimney or outside the house, but this is my chimney right here. They kind of disguised it. Here it is. You can see they had something else in this room at some point. But yeah, this is my easy bake oven. My broiler, which is brand new. And this is my heat. It's gas. There's not much to break. It's easy to clean. Couple of screws, couple of nuts. You can slide that assembly out. You can vacuum it out. Slide it back in. 2 nuts, 2 screws, done. The only thing that will break is this thermocouple. $10 at Home Depot, easy to change. Could probably teach my cat to do it. Here's my thermostat. Boom. You got heat. It's very quiet. Doesn't use any electricity at all. The only thing that makes noise is the side of the stove that bulges out when it gets really, really hot. And then when it cools down, it makes creaking and cracking noises as it goes back in. It goes from 1 to 10, and I haven't been able to get past 3. If you go to 3, it's like, I don't know, Southwest Florida up here, like 90 degrees. I was worried it wasn't gonna keep up and like push, heat into the rooms, because like a normal heating system is either hot water or hot air, and it gets pumped from the basement and then dispersed through pipes or vents and dispersed evenly throughout the house, right? So you get a very even heat, but you have heat loss on the way up as well. My heat source is right here. There's no heat loss. It's right here. And the heat makes it into the rooms just fine. I don't know, it's really, really hard to explain, but this is such a nice kind of heat. It like warms you to the bones, kind of warm. In the rooms it's warm, but if you got like a chill or something, or you just came in from outside or something, you walk into the kitchen, it's like, oh, that's nice, I don't know, it's a shame they don't make these anymore. I'm trying to figure out why. I wonder what my gas bill is going to be. Maybe that's why. You know, we'll find out. I'm going to compare with the kid I work with. The kid I work with has an apartment the same size as me. His is just stretched out longer. Mine's a little more compact and round, I guess. He's got a gas boiler that heats up hot water and pumps it into his house. And he's in the middle floor, so he's got heat below him and he's got heat above him, and he's in the middle. And he said during the worst months of the winter, his gas bill gets up to $500. And we have very similar square footage of apartments. I'm on the top floor with one apartment under me and nothing above me. So, I'll let you guys know. But, yeah, I might be going on Facebook Marketplace and finding a few more of these and putting them in storage. I don't know. We'll see. I kind of like it, though. I kind of like it. And it's a pleasure to cook on this thing. I tell you what, it boils water in like 5 seconds flat. It's nice. Alright guys, it's time to test for lead paint. So I got this little kit on the Amazon. Lead test swabs. Didn't know I needed vinegar. So I ran to the store real quick and got some vinegar. And looks like you take one of these little QT swabs. See on the tip it has like black stuff. It looks dirty, but check this out. Boom. Turns yellow instantly. Instantly. So I'll let that soak up the goodness. So I'm gonna take some 80 grit and just scuff up the paint right here. Get down to fresh paint. So just to be clear, you know, I've been paint scraping in here. You can see, and you know what, we might even come in here. You can see yellow, you can see green, you can see white, and at the very, very bottom is that tan color. So you can see the multiple layers of paint there. But this is that tan color. That is the original paint. And you can see over here, there's the tan color again that was underneath the phone plug. That hasn't been painted as many times, but that's the original paint. So if there is lead paint, that's it right there. You know, and you can see the pipe over there through the floor again. You know, that's, did I leave this in there too long? It's not yellow anymore. You know what? I'm not going to chance it. It just says dip it in there. I want to make sure I get an accurate test here. Let's do that again. Boom! Oh yeah, look how yellow that gets quick. Okay, so now we take the yellow swab and we rub it on the paint. I'm slowly turning it to get to a fresh piece of Q-tip. It says rub it for like 30 seconds. Okay, results time. So, let me see if I can set you up here. Alright, so here's the results. So you have to match the tip of the Q-tip to the color. So it says right here, no lead detected is orange, or lead detected, which is like purple, red, violet. I would say we have no lead. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So there is 0 lead paint in this apartment. Beautiful. So now I can I can advertise this as de-leaded. Boy, I tell you what, it's a relief. It's a relief, I tell you, to know that you do not have lead paint in your place. And this apartment that I'm in is, yeah, it's the worst one out of the three. This one has never been touched. Never. But I wanted to check. We did the trim, but I didn't check the wall paint. Just wanted to make sure. So this is the, you can see the lath and plaster. Well, let's check that. No, it's just rubbing off whatever the hell that is. That's just paper. But yeah, I tested the paint, which this is the same tan color as everything else. It seemed like they kind of came in here and painted everything tan. Or it might have been white at some point. And maybe just over the years of smoking and abuse. Yeah, but there is no lead paint up here. That is... Duke, no. You're not getting any more tuna. You need to go to a Tuna Anonymous meeting. I mean, you got a bad problem, dude. But yeah, anyway, today's Friday. And, God, I went as far as I could, you know. First coated the baseboard. I missed a spot over here. A big spot. But coated the windows once. Sill looks a lot better after a little bit of wood filling. I mean, I could go a little bit more crazy and make it like really nice, but Duke put his paw print right there. I'm gonna leave it. It adds character. I'm hoping, you know, tomorrow I got a little side jobby to do. Be working there all day, but when I get home, I might try to chip away at a couple of small things, but then on Sunday, I'd love to be able to power through this. Just get this done, clean, put back together, and then jump over here and hopefully finish this by Sunday. So I can call this room done. But, yeah, see, this door hits the curb thingy at the bottom, closes at the top, and this door closes at the bottom. It rubs a little bit at the, yeah, rubs in that back corner at the bottom. But you can see at the top, because people have forced the door, if you close it, yikes, it sticks out of the top because it's rubbing at the top considerably. So I gotta see if I can try to tweak that a little bit. Not sure. So we're getting there, man. Duke's in here painting the closet. Duke! What? You sleeping on the job? What are you doing? You need to earn your rent, buddy. Yeah. Alright. He's playing the cute card. I guess I gotta do it. 'Cause I'm an island boy. Just painting my closet. I'm an island boy. Painting this shit on Sunday. 'Cause I have no life. And I have no money. 'Cause I'm an island boy. And Duke won't help me. He's a basking in the sun. Oh shit. I just dripped paint on the freaking rug. You just rub it in and it goes away. Should be fine. Alrighty. One room down. Took me a little bit longer than I was expecting, but get it all fixed up, man. No more line up the wall. No more phone cable, no more square back there, no more mess under there. All the gaps have been fixed. You know, new hardware on the closet. New latches. In my mind, this is acceptable. This is kind of what I want to get the rest of the rooms up to. You know, nice doors. The doors actually close now. Everything functions. and it looks nice. So that's pretty much my goal for like that room, this room, and once these are all done, hopefully by that time I have enough money to get into the kitchen and do like the flooring and the walls and bathroom and cabinets and that kind of stuff. But for now, until I have money, we're gonna keep going with the cheap stuff, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna start right here because this is a twofer deal right here. You know, it's like 2 trims in one. So I got rid of the old door hardware there already. Filled it in with some wood that I had. Let that dry, we'll Bondo that up. There was a hole right here because this was the old lock system, so I filled that with a piece of wood. Bit of Bondo. Planed the door down, but still needs to be planed at the bottom. But I'll get, you know, I might, you know, splurge and go get some black hinges for there. And then we're gonna do this door. This room's really gonna suck, I'm not gonna lie. All the wires and computers and things on the walls, and yeah. The safe screwed to the floor, that's gonna suck. But it must be done. Yeah. Another 2 doors down. That one's replaced and that one's fixed. And new hardware. And move knob up. That kind of stuff. Looks good. But now the nightmare. This room I really do not want to do because it is going to suck. It took me like 4 hours to put all this stuff in here. You know, all the stuff hung on the walls, the computer monitors, the wires, the safe screwed to the floor. Lagged to the floor with all the stuff in there. And it weighs like 360 pounds empty. Ugh. Yeah, but this room needs some attention, bad. You see all this peeling, flaky paint? Yeah, we gotta deal with that. And the walls are quite rough. I mean, look at this. I did little patches and just painted over them. And missed this one. I don't know how I possibly missed that. Just goes to show you how much of a rush I was in to get in here. Because I was on a time limit. And it was like down to the wire, dude. It was down to the wire and down to the last penny to make this place happen. And I was just trying to get rid of the stench. Because this place, God, did it smell. But it doesn't anymore. But now that I can't afford to do the kitchen or bathroom yet, but I figure I can keep going with these rooms. You know, paint and mud is not that expensive. So I'm gonna have to find a place to put all of that stuff. I'm gonna lose the studio for a bit. Have to go back to the laptop for a while. So I'm thinking possibly we could find some room in Duke's room. But I think we're gonna have to ask permission first, right? Can we move in with you, kitty? Huh? Can I move in with you? Please? Please let me move in with you, kitty. Is that a yes? Yeah. I think he's just so happy. He's so happy. Okay, well, we got the go-ahead. Time to start piling in. Hey! Alright guys, well, you know what? I think I'm going to cap the video here because once I take this down, I'm going to lose my YouTube abilities for 2 weeks minimum. And plus this video is probably getting pretty long already. So this will be part 1. But part 2, we're definitely going to dig into this horsehair plaster situation and find a way to make it beautiful again. You know what I mean? We will make it beautiful again. Somehow. We'll figure it out. And don't worry, I am already scheming, dude. I've been scheming. This is coming. It's just, you know, it's going to be a little bit. But I have a solid black stone kitchen sink coming. White granite countertops. New lowers, new uppers. And there's there's a huge, like, bird's eye maple, like, side pantry cabinet that will not fit up here, unfortunately, because I don't have the ceiling height. But it's solid bird's eye maple. I'm talking solid bird's eye maple. The whole thing. The doors have wooden pegs in them, like the guy went crazy. That cabinet alone is worth some cheddar, I'm telling you. It'll probably pay for my flooring if I sold it. And the lady's just like, yeah, I don't want to be troubled with having to try to sell it. I just want it gone. I'm like, okay, I'll take it. Same lady I got these doors from. She was going to throw these in the dumpster. And the house is like brand new. And she's like, I just don't like it. I'm like, I'll take it. I'll take all of it. So I don't know if it's going to be this kitchen that I do with that kitchen, or if it's going to be one of the other ones. There's also a center island there with a, again, stone, white stone, granite countertop, and it has the gas oven, the gas stove. Or the gas stove is built into the center island, and the oven is built into another cabinet on the side. Which I definitely don't have a kitchen of that caliber in this building. Maybe the 3-bedroom. It'll be tight, but maybe. But I don't think I'm going to take it all. I'm just going to take the countertops, some lowers, some uppers. Definitely the bird's eye maple stuff I'm taking. And I've been scheming on the floor as well. Like, I've been looking into the cement board product is supposed to be indestructible in the last 20 years. I'm like, well, yeah, I see that, but like hardwood floors, you go into old buildings that have like the original hardwood floors, like from 100+ years. Why do you think that is? Because hardwood floors last the longest out of anything, because you could just sand them down and re-poly them many times. You know what I mean? And it will look brand new over and over and over again. So yeah, pretty much that's the plan. Yeah, I'd be into it already, except just running through a few hiccups right now. I have one tenant's not paying, and supposedly, he's like very behind, very, very behind, and it sucks. But supposedly, his kid's grandfather died and left behind a substantial sum of money to the tune of $18,000, and the lawyer set up a trust, and basically that money is for the kid, but can be used for back rent. So, I was like, I reached out to the lawyer, and she's like, yeah, I just set up the trust. I'm waiting for a checkbook to arrive. It'll be here this coming week. And she said she's going to cut me a check. So I'm like, great. So hopefully that'll catch him up until now. But it's like from here forward. My stepbrother came here off the streets with felonies. And he found a job in 2 weeks. Gone, out working, right? The guys, there's one guy living in my 3-bedroom unit. Doesn't speak a lick of English. Not one word of English does he speak. Doesn't have a car, doesn't have a license. Also, found a job within walking distance of the house. But the two down there, in the 4 or 5 months, can't find a job. And I'm like, hey, I get it if you don't want to work. He said, what do you mean I don't want to work? I want to work. I'm like, well, it doesn't look like it. Just saying. But anyways, guys, see you in the next one. Alright guys, well, you know what? I think I'm going to cap the video here, because once I take this down, I'm going to lose my YouTube abilities for 2 weeks minimum. And plus, this video is probably getting pretty long already. So this will be part 1. But part 2, we're definitely going to dig into this horsehair plaster situation and find a way to make it beautiful again. You know what I mean? We will make it beautiful again. Somehow. We'll figure it out. And don't worry, I am already scheming, dude. I've been scheming. This is coming. It's just, you know, it's going to be a little bit. But I have a solid black stone kitchen sink coming. White granite countertops, new lowers, new uppers. And there's a huge, like, bird's eye maple, like, side pantry cabinet that will not fit up here, unfortunately, because I don't have the ceiling height. But it's solid bird's eye maple. I'm talking solid bird's eye maple. The whole thing. The doors have wooden pegs in them, like the guy went crazy. That cabinet alone is worth some cheddar, I'm telling you. It'll probably pay for my flooring if I sold it. And the lady's just like, yeah, I don't want to be troubled with having to try to sell it. I just want it gone. I'm like, okay, I'll take it. Same lady I got these doors from. She was going to throw these in the dumpster. And the house is like brand new. And she's like, I just don't like it. I'm like, I'll take it. I'll take all of it. So I don't know if it's going to be this kitchen that I do with that kitchen, or if it's going to be one of the other ones. There's also a center island there with a, again, white stone granite countertop, and it has the gas oven, the gas stove. Or the gas stove is built into the center island, and the oven is built into another cabinet on the side. Which I definitely don't have a kitchen of that caliber in this building. Maybe the 3-bedroom. It'll be tight, but maybe. But I don't think I'm going to take it all. I'm just going to take the countertops, some lowers, some uppers. Definitely the bird's eye maple stuff I'm taking. And I've been scheming on the floor as well. Like, I've been looking into the cement board product is supposed to be indestructible in the last 20 years. I'm like, well, yeah, I see that, but like hardwood floors, you go into old buildings that have like the original hardwood floors, like from 100+ years. Why do you think that is? Because hardwood floors last the longest out of anything, because you could just sand them down and re-poly them many times. You know what I mean? And it will look brand new over and over and over again. So, yeah, pretty much that's the plan. Yeah, I'd be into it already, except, just running through a few hiccups right now. I have one tenant's not paying, and supposedly, he's like very behind, very, very behind, and it sucks. But supposedly, his kid's grandfather died and left behind a substantial sum of money to the tune of $18,000, and the lawyer set up a trust, and basically that money is for the kid, but can be used for back rent. So, I was like, I reached out to the lawyer, and she's like, yeah, I just set up the trust. I'm waiting for a checkbook to arrive. It'll be here this coming week. And she said she's going to cut me a check. So I'm like, great. So hopefully that'll catch him up until now. But it's like from here forward. My stepbrother came here off the streets with felonies. And he found a job in 2 weeks. Gone, out working, right? The guys, there's one guy living in my 3-bedroom unit. Doesn't speak a lick of English. Not one word of English does he speak. Doesn't have a car, doesn't have a license. Also, found a job within walking distance of the house. But the two down there, in the 4 or 5 months, can't find a job. And I'm like, hey, I get it if you don't want to work. He said, what do you mean I don't want to work? I want to work. I'm like, well, it doesn't look like it. Just saying. But anyways, guys, see you in the next one.